Welcome to Strange Wonders Around the World. Most people know, Brunei is an extremely wealthy Muslim country in Southeast Asia, and that's the reality. Thanks to many oil fields throughout the territory, Brunei became a super rich country. Come to this country, you will be overwhelmed, with gold works scattered everywhere. Brunei people are given new houses to live in by the government, necessary, or receive completely free medical treatment, next to wonderful things like paradise. There is still anger here, like the death penalty of stoning, or 15 years in prison, just because of a mistake. In another country you won't have to suffer anything. Now let's explore with Quirky Wonders worldwide today. The world is in shock. 15 crazy things in Brunei. To know more strange things in this country. 15. Provide free housing for people. Brunei. It's no surprise that this is the richest country in the world. Everyone here enjoys great benefits, thanks to its rich oil fields. From natural resources, the Brunei state has rightly demonstrated a great society, like providing almost completely free housing for all citizens. Just sign up and pay a $1 fee. For a fee, and after a period of up to 5 years, you will own your own house. Half of a person's life does not require plowing day and night to earn money to buy a house like in other countries. 14. The world's longest serving king. Brunei is a country with an absolute monarchy. There is the Bukia royal family that has ruled the country for more than 600 years, is one of the richest monarchs in the world. According to an unofficial statistic, his assets are more than $30 billion US. He is one of the world's biggest supercar enthusiasts, owns more than 7,000 supercars. Does the king even have AirPods BA4? Manufacture personal aircraft, besides 6 small planes and 2 helicopters, and has a 1,788-room palace. He was also the Cho who built the mosque encrusted with gold and diamonds. Currently, the Sultan of Brunei holds all current prime minister positions, Minister of National Defense, and the country's finance minister. With more than 55 dynasties, he is the second longest reigning king in the world, right after his Queen Elizabeth II. 13. LGBT is banned. Brunei is the scariest country if you are LGBT. 2014 Brunei law declares homosexuality a crime, so there will be a penalty of 15 years in prison for anyone. However, 2019, this country increased fines to horrifying levels. Accordingly, LGBT people will be executed by stoning to death, and Brunei became the first Asian country to punish homosexuality with death. As for women, they will be publicly beaten by ROI, and have to go to jail with punishments that are not light at all, despite strong international opposition. But Brunei is still determined to protect its new law. 12. Men are allowed to have 4 wives, different from monogamy like in other countries, although he was allowed to marry more than 1 wife. But whatever you do, you must respect order. This means that if you want to marry Mrs. 2, you must have Mrs. 1's consent, and of course want to marry Mrs. BA and Mrs. 4, must consult Mrs. 1 and Mrs. 2. If you don't get permission, if you try first, you will go to jail. In particular, men who want to marry multiple wives must come and prove their financial capacity. Take care of the lives of all the wives and their children. 11. Everything is free. People often joke that Brunei has nothing but gold and oil. Perhaps that is why Brunei people are subsidized by the government for all living expenses. They don't just get free houses. Services such as medical education are free to use, even in case you want to study abroad. If necessary, going abroad for medical treatment will also be fully supported. If you have to pay, you only pay a nominal dollar per service. 10. School. It's not surprising in a country that worships Islam like Brunei. There is a strict distinction between men and women. The schools here are divided into RA, school for boys, and a school for girls, because men and women cannot study together. When going to school, female students must cover their face and hair. Leave only your eyes open. 9. The people are very rich. National GDP is only 1/2 of BA Vietnam, but the average income per capita is 10 times that of Vietnamese people. Currently about $31,000 US per year. Because Brunei people are rich, the number of cars they own is extremely large. If Vietnam has 1,000 people, about 2-3 people have cars. In Brunei, the number is 897 vehicles/1000 people, about 1 car per person. So there are very few taxis here. There are only about 50 units operating nationwide, because AI also has a car plus very cheap gas prices. People here also don't drink alcohol. so there is almost no need to use taxis to get around. That is also the reason why taxi prices in Brunei are so expensive. With only 3.4 kilometers you can spend about $10. 8. Gold is everywhere. Surely many people think that this only exists in legends, but for Brunei people, this is very normal. Is a Muslim country rich in oil resources? The gold-plated works here will make you admire. From the mosque, museum, palace, even the hotel 4 years later, are covered with this luxurious metal. James A church stands out. Hasanim Bushia Morse used 5 tons of gold to gild the dome, and 20 battle towers. Or Brunei's Amman Royal Palace is the most splendidly decorated in the world, with a total cost of $1.4 billion. The entire interior is lavishly plated with gold and diamonds. 7. Days off during the week. While most countries in the world have Saturday and Sunday off, Brunei is closed on Friday and Sunday. By according to Sharia Act, Friday is a day of common prayer for all Brunei people. On this day all stores are closed. Let people go to the mosque to pray. And there's something quite interesting, is if you do not go to pray on this day, you will be fined or imprisoned. 6. Do not pay taxes. In Vietnam or most countries in the world, you will have to pay thousands in taxes. Brunei is probably the only country in the world where you don't know what taxes are. Hearing this makes you want to leave your country and go to Brunei. As a Brunei citizen, you will not be subject to any income tax, thanks to large revenues from oil and gas. Therefore, the average Bruneian owns several houses. 3 or 4 cars is normal. 5. Strictly prohibited. Because it is a Muslim country, Brunei prohibits many things. For example, there is no bob or amusement park. Prohibited sale of beer and alcohol. Pork and the shop only opens after 9 a.m. and before 10 p.m. In addition to RA, when you come to this country, be careful with littering. Just like in Singapore, litter and pick flowers. Tree cutting in Brunei. Everyone is at risk of being imprisoned for 2 years or fined equivalent to 100 million VND. However, according to Islamic criminal law, the punishment for the thief is that the cheat also engages in prostitution or drug trafficking. You will be logged out of Earth immediately. 4. There's nowhere to hang out. Do you wonder why Brunei doesn't have any entertainment venues? Because Sharia law does not allow alcohol to exist in this Muslim country. So that means there won't be a single drop of beer appearing here. If you are someone who likes to drink beer and wine, try not to drink alcohol or beer in Brunei. However, you are not allowed to drink alcohol, but other spiritual dishes are invested very carefully, so you don't need to worry about being sad when you come to Brunei. 3. Village on the water. You should not miss the world's largest floating village. Kampong Aya village with about 30,000 residents. 90% of Brunei people. Most people's homes, schools, hospitals, mosques and state agencies are built on water, with full modern equipment to serve people's lives. In addition to traveling by wooden bridge, another popular means of transportation here is water taxi. Bring people to shore for $1 per trip, and it is more than road taxis in this country. Image of busy boats, causing Aya's room to also be called by its nickname, Eastern Brunei. 2. Quiet country. Maybe you don't know that Rune is also called, means peaceful land, with beautiful beaches and tropical forests covering 75% of the country. This country has a lot of natural beauty, and gentle, friendly people without any worries. Anyone coming to Brunei, everyone feels the tranquility of the land where there is only gold and oil. Meager population, but it must be admitted that the gap in this country is very wide, modern and clean, and the roads are wide, but only a few cars passed by, and it is very rare to see people walking on the street, even without the hustle and bustle of alcohol. Brunei chose a silent approach. Shine in your own way. 1. Oil is everywhere. Everyone estimates there is oil everywhere underground in Brunei. That is why Brunei became the 3rd largest oil producer in Southeast Asia, with an average of 180,000 barrels of about 29,000 cubic meters per day. The country is also the 4th largest producer of liquefied petroleum gas in the world. According to estimates, about 90% of Brunei's export value is oil, gas and related products. Thanks to being rich, we are rich from nature's gifts. Therefore, Brunei people also enjoy many benefits that people in other countries around the world cannot even dream of seeing. What about Brunei impresses you the most? Please comment, let me know in the comments section. And if you have watched the video up to this point, don't hesitate to subscribe and subscribe. It will give me more motivation to make more good videos. Hello, and see you again in the next videos.